I'm joined this morning by one of our key new additions to the ECR team, Nick Tulloch, recently coming on as Managing Director. Nick, good morning.
Morning, Andrew. How are you?
Yeah, really good, Nick. Good to see you. Look, firstly, tell us, what was the initial attraction when joining ECR?
Well, it's an opportunity that came at us reasonably quickly. And I think what we saw is a company that had sort of lost the imagination of investors, really. It's a company with, well, as you know, a very diverse and a very extended portfolio of assets, many of which I think have got some extremely interesting potential. And the story is told in the share price. You can see that in the liquidity and the price. There'd just been a bit of a sort of disconnect between what the company was looking to do and perhaps what investors saw the company capable of doing. I've obviously joined with Mike Whitlow, who's someone I've known for a while and worked together for a bit. And between us, we felt that actually our combined skill set could perhaps just help address that disconnect and perhaps just bring the company back into the imagination of investors. And we can sort of go into more detail in a moment, but it's obviously it's about delivery and it's about doing what you say you can do. It's not just about the RNSs.
Well, just on that, tell us a bit more, Nick, about your skills, your experience, and the value add you reckon you can bring to ECR.
Sure. Well, I mentioned that Mike and I have obviously joined together. We sort of came out this process as a double act. I don't read the bulletin boards all that often, but I was quite impressed with the comment someone made during the course of the week who described the two of us as Ant and Dec. I'm not often compared to a celebrity, and I'm not quite sure which one of us is Ant and which one of us is Dec. But whether the author meant it this way or not, I thought it was quite a neat analogy. Mike and I are very different people. I mean, that'd be very self-evident from interviews and things we've done in the past. But what we have in common, and we do speak a lot, by the way, we speak several times a day, what we have in common is we both have a sort of a roll up your sleeves mentality. And I think one of the challenges a lot of small companies face is they spend a vast amount of money on advisors. It's very difficult to downscale a legal team, an accountancy team, a financial services team in line with the market capitalization or the cash balance of the company. If work needs to be done for a listed company, it needs to be done. And small companies pay a disproportionate amount of money away in just being alive and in just demonstrating that their projects can have viability. And between me and Mike, we bring a combined skill set that enables a lot of that to be done ourselves. I'm a lawyer. I trained as a lawyer, spent a few years practicing. I spent most of my career actually in corporate finance. I was a nomad, to a number of AIM companies. I moved into, I guess, the corporate world about 5 or 6 years ago. Initially, I moved to a company called Highlands Natural Resources, which different sector, oil and gas, different country, that was in the US, but some overlap with ECR. It's an overseas company listed on the UK market. Again, a diverse portfolio of assets. Some were performing, some were not. And I started a process at Highlands, which was a consolidation of the good and so a letting go of the bad and bringing the company into a platform that enabled it to progress. Now, Highlands went in a totally different direction. Highlands is now Chill Brands. It's gone into the CBD industry, and that is not the intention at all with ECR. But the platform is similar. It's about identifying where to put your resource, where to focus your resource, and not spending too much money on external advisors that will just drain the company of its opportunities.
In terms of the focus, looking ahead, just outline for us your strategy. What's the big ambition for ECR?
Well, it's really back to what I said. It's about reconnecting with investors and it's about delivering on the projects. So we are 10 days in, give or take. We've completed a fundraise. We have, I hope, reinvigorated the share price, reinvigorated liquidity, and perhaps reinvigorated the news flow. And we're just trying to demonstrate that there are interesting opportunities within the company. We're not into hype. We're not into sort of building something that isn't. But it's about evidencing the work that's happening on the ground. So the strategy going forward is very much as I mentioned a minute ago. It's about systematically going through the projects, working out where we focus our resource, where we focus our time, where we focus our money to get shareholders the best return. Now, we're not going to roll a double six every time. I mean, no one ever does, and anyone who thinks it's easy is easy. Anyone thinks it's easy hasn't really understood the question. So it is about forensic analysis. We put out an announcement in the tail end of last week where we just ran through the assets. As much really just to remind investors what we've got and where we think the opportunities could be. And as I say, there will be some hard decisions along the way, but there'll also be, we believe, some good opportunities to build on the platform that is already in place, but actually creating that platform to accelerate the company's development. Now that probably all sounds a little bit vague. I say we're 10 days in. There's a lot of work to be done on understanding the projects and understanding where we need to focus our energies and the company's resources. But I think what investors should expect is steady news flow, not hyped news flow, but a steady record of what we're achieving. And I think that will accelerate over the coming months as well, as we become more familiar with what's going to work and what's not going to work. So it's quite a different style to what the company's seen in the past. As I said, Mike and I are quite different people, but we bring something quite similar to the party, which is we're sort of like two guys who roll up their sleeves.
And as you allude to, Nick, we've got a busy couple of weeks ahead. You and I will be catching up fairly regularly. We'll speak soon. Thanks very much.
We certainly will. Thanks, Andrew.